You're watching The Daily on Shaw TV Channel 4, and today we are at the Nanaimo Public Cemetery. Here's just one of many, many life stories that you can find here. This is Joseph W., 1871 to 1936, fondly loved and deeply mourned. Just one of many stories here that we'll look at today with the Nanaimo Museum as they lead up to their cemetery tours. Also coming up on this edition of The Daily, we're gonna head over to Calgary to get an inside look at the world of chuck wagon racing. We're also going to head over to Port Alberni. There's a garden tour there featuring a couple who have found a passion for gardening is also the key to a happy marriage. Boat safety, Annette Lucas checks in with the newest addition to the RCMP Marine Fleet. And we're visiting Victoria. James Green has a fabulous story about a nonprofit organization who is helping kids to build custom bicycles. They are very, very cool. Before we get to any of that, Jocelyn Matwee is here. Nanaimo dermatologist Dr. Gabrielle Wetchart has been offering free skin cancer screenings for 10 years. You're watching The Daily on Shaw TV Channel 4. I'm Kate Bergen, and today we are in the Nanaimo Public Cemetery. We're getting a little sneak peek at some of the tours that the Nanaimo Museum offers of the cemetery. Now, it's a fabulous way to learn about your community and the people who made it what it is today. Amy Greenaway is with the Nanaimo Museum, and she's chosen this headstone, this marker, to share some history with us. Why this one? Who is this?
This is the plot of William Sloan, and he was a dry goods merchant in Nanaimo in the 1890s.
Yep.
And a few years after that, he decided to go up to the Yukon and see if he could find gold. So he struck gold in the Klondike Gold Rush right before the Klondike Gold Rush happened.
Oh, good timing.
Yeah, so he came
Good
back.
timing.
He came back to Nanaimo with over $100,000 in his pocket, which was a pretty sizable sum in the 1890s.
Absolutely.
Built a gorgeous mansion on Stewart Avenue. He was an MP and MLA, so led a very respected life and a very interesting story.
And here he lies in the Nanaimo Public Cemetery. Now, beside him is his wife, I'm assuming.
That's correct.
Is Flora McGregor Sloan, and you have a little bit of information about the McGregors?
Yes, the McGregors are a very old Nanaimo family. They go back to the 1850s.
Yeah, okay, excellent. I'm sort of grabbing Amy here, trying to make sure Todd doesn't get the back of her head. We're going to explore the Nanaimo Public Cemetery a little bit more on this edition of The Daily. In the meantime, we're going to throw things over to Annette Lucas. The Nanaimo Mounties have a new ride. It's a sleek new boat that they've added to their marine fleet. The boat is still unnamed, and the RCMP are asking kids aged K through grade 7 to name her. So far, suggestions include Blue Jay, Shredder, and Justice Rock. They'll decide on a name at the end of June. You're watching The Daily on Shaw TV Channel 4. Today we are in the Nanaimo Public Cemetery because the Nanaimo Museum is looking forward to hosting a series of cemetery tours throughout the summer. Amy Greenaway is with the museum and has selected this particular plot for a reason.
Yes, this is John and Reuben Meakin, their father and son that were killed in the same coal mining accident 125 years ago. And their story is a testament to what life was like in Nanaimo during the height of the coal mining era. Mm-hmm. Your family members could go to work and it wasn't expected that they would return home. There was common to have explosions, accidents, and they're just two examples. This particular explosion in 1887, 154 men went to work and only 7 came home.
And you were saying that as you get familiar with the dates and you wander around the cemetery, you start seeing other stones with these dates on them, and you get a sense of how many people actually died and their remains are here in this cemetery. Do you know how many are buried here?
I'm not sure the exact number.
Okay.
There's actually 147 men, I believe, were killed on the job, and one rescuer was killed as part of the rescue effort.
So there's a challenge to go through the cemetery here or partake in one of the tours and find out how many of those miners that lost their lives 125 years ago are laid to rest here in this cemetery. Now, there is something significant about this tombstone. It used to be upright, and it's so sad, but there was a huge sort of rash of vandalism that happened here in the cemetery a few years ago, and this headstone was actually upright at one point, Amy?
Most of the time when you see cemeteries that are this shape, where they're rectangular but they're laying flat and they're in a concrete curbing, normally that means that they were upright, but for their own protection, they've been placed down on the ground. As you can see here, it looks like the top part was actually cracked. Could have happened
Broken off
after it was laid flat, but it could have been part of earlier damage.
Wow. And it's getting hard to read the letters here. Yeah, it really is an amazing way to discover the history of the community in which you live. We'll be back here with more from the Nanaimo Public Cemetery on this edition of The Daily. In the meantime, we're throwing things over to Nancy Wilmot. There's a garden tour happening in Port Alberni, and it really is a testament to a couple who has a common passion that threads through their relationship. You're watching The Daily on Shaw TV, Channel 4. I'm Kate Bergen. This is Amy Greenaway. She's with the Nanaimo Museum, and we're here in the Nanaimo Public Cemetery because the museum is hosting some tours, and touring your cemetery is a fantastic way to learn about the history and the people who made where you live what it is today. We're here at a very unassuming, barely recognizable, it's hard to just miss it entirely. Why did you pick this one to talk about, Amy?
This is the resting place of Robert MacArthur, and his story still has a strong connection today. In 1918, there was an accident in the Protection Island coal mine.
Right.
The cage or elevator shot to the bottom of the shaft after a cable snapped, and it killed all of the 16 men that were on board on their way to work.
So much tragedy came out of the mining industry here in Nanaimo. And now there's a connection from this gentleman to the museum as well.
Yes. Robert MacArthur, he had a pocket watch with him, and at the moment of impact, his pocket watch broke, and so it stopped at the exact instant of the accident. So we have that on display at the Nanaimo Museum inside our coal mine exhibit.
Do you remember what time it says on the face of the watch?
It says 7:10.
7:10, that would have
Exactly.
been PM, probably. 7:10 a.m. Time stopped as this man's life stopped. It almost gives me goosebumps. We're going to explore more of the Nanaimo Cemetery on this edition of The Daily. I do believe that Amy has her family plot here, and we'll have a look at that. In the meantime, we're throwing things way over to Calgary to get an inside look at the competitiveness of chuck wagon racing, easy for me to say. It's a brand new series here on Shaw TV. The Calgary Stampede is not far away, and it has fans far and wide. This is a look at Cowboys Casino Chucks Insider. I'm gonna follow you, Amy, because you're trying to find...
I'm looking for my family plot. So I
Okay.
usually go in right from the side and then follow in a straight line because it can be very easy to walk past.
Right, okay, you're watching The Daily on Shaw TV Channel 4. Today we're in the Nanaimo Public Cemetery because we're talking about tours that the Nanaimo Museum is hosting this summer. Amy Greenaway is with the museum. This one is personal. Who have we got here?
Yes, this one is my family plot. And this is my great-great-grandfather, Benjamin Greenaway. He's buried here with his wife and one of his grandsons. He moved his family to Nanaimo in the 1880s. He was a coal miner. He came from England, and he was killed in a mining accident in 1899, leaving behind a wife and 6 children.
Unfortunate death, but good that he left behind some family. Otherwise, Amy, you might not be here today. Now, are you going to end up here too? Is there a spot for you?
I'm not sure. I'll have to check into that.
Well, hopefully we won't have to do any checking into that for a long, long time. Now, the museum is hosting cemetery tours here at the Nanaimo Public Cemetery at various times throughout the summer. Are they popular? I know you've been doing them for a few years now.
They are very popular. We hold them in the summer months because, of course, we bank on having nice weather, and they're really great tours for people that would like to learn a little bit more about Nanaimo's history and some of the people and events that have shaped the community.
It's fabulous. And you know, just to spend some time out here on a day like today, you can see the view behind me. The float planes are coming and going. A spectacular day, as odd as it is to say, here at the Nanaimo Public Cemetery. That brings us to the end of this edition of The Daily. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.